It is late. The room is quiet. The screen is the only light. You know this feeling. The tired kind. Not the tired that sleep fixes. The tired that comes from being ignored, from being talked over, from watching people with less skill, less discipline, less thought move ahead while you sit there asking a question you never say out loud. Why do they get respect and you do not? Why do the loud ones win? Why does the one who lies, mocks, manipulates, and pushes harder always seem to walk away with power? You have felt it before. Someone insults you in front of others. Someone twists your words. Someone spreads a quiet rumor. And your instinct is immediate. Explain yourself. Defend yourself. React. But tonight you are about to see the game for the first time. Not the polite version, the real version. And once you see it, you will never be able to pretend you do not understand it again. Here is the rule: simple, cold, ancient, never react, never explain, just ignore. That rule has built empires. That rule has destroyed enemies. That rule has turned ignored people into unstoppable forces. And tonight you will learn 7 dark tactics built on that rule. Each one sharper than the last. Each one changing how people see you without you saying a word. But listen carefully. Most people will stop halfway through this video. The ones who keep listening are the ones who finally understand power. Now here is the first truth. Most people believe power belongs to the loudest voice in the room. They believe power belongs to the one who argues best. They believe power belongs to the one who wins the debate. They are wrong. Power belongs to the one who controls the emotional temperature of the room. And the easiest way to control the temperature is silence. You must understand this clearly. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon. When someone insults you, they expect anger. When someone questions you, they expect a defense. Their mind has already written the script for your reaction. Anger, argument, explanation. And the moment you follow that script, you step onto their battlefield. Now they control the frame. But when you break the script, their mind freezes. You say nothing. You look at them calmly. You let the silence stretch longer than comfort allows. And suddenly their brain begins to race. What is he thinking? Did I push too far? Why is he not reacting? Silence creates psychological pressure, and pressure creates mistakes. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius understood this. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Look carefully at those words. Not louder, not harsher, unlike him. If they are chaotic, you become calm. If they are loud, you become silent. Consider this example. Early Tesla, early years. The media mocked Elon Musk constantly. They said the company would collapse. They said electric cars were fantasy. What did Musk do? Did he chase every accusation? Did he argue with every critic? No, he built. While they talked, he worked. And over time, something strange happened. The silence became intimidating. Critics began to look small. His work became the answer. Now think about your life. Who expects a reaction from you? Who pushes your buttons because they know exactly what will happen next? Look at that person in your mind. Now, imagine something different. Next time they try, you give them nothing. No anger. No explanation, just silence. Tell the truth in the comments. Have you ever stayed silent when someone expected you to explode? Or do you still feel the urge to defend yourself? Write it below. Because the answer tells you how much power you currently hold. But silence alone is not enough. Silence is the door. What comes next is the strategy. And here is the part that separates those who understand power from those who only wish they did. Not every battle deserves your attention. Most people do not understand this. They treat every insult as a war, every rumor as an emergency, every critic as a threat. But attention is a currency. Every minute you spend reacting is a minute stolen from building something that makes you stronger. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote something rulers learned the hard way. Our prince must know how to avoid hatred and contempt. One way to avoid contempt is simple. Do not fight small enemies. Ignore them until they expose themselves. Have you ever seen someone desperate for your reaction? They send messages again and again. They gossip about you. They try to provoke you publicly. Why? Because attention is oxygen. Without it, their drama dies. When you ignore them completely, a strange shift happens. Their behavior becomes visible. People start asking questions. Why is that person still attacking someone who is not responding? Why does he seem obsessed? And slowly, the spotlight turns. This is psychological judo. Their energy turns against them. Their noise reveals their weakness. Now here is the part most people never learn. Ignoring people is powerful, but ignoring your own emotions is the real weapon. Emotion is the leash most people live on. Pull anger, and they bark. Pull jealousy, and they panic. Pull pride, and they lose control. A manipulator understands this. They do not attack your logic. They attack your emotion. They say one word that triggers you. They raise their voice. They twist the conversation. Suddenly you are not thinking anymore. You are reacting. And once emotion takes control, strategy disappears. You must become difficult to move emotionally. Cold steel. Calm under pressure. Watch the storm from behind glass. You see it. You hear it, but it does not reach you. Look at Warren Buffett during market crashes. Investors panic. They scream. They sell. They run. Buffett waits. Calm. Patient. While others burn in fear, he buys the future. That is emotional control. Pain becomes fuel. Hidden knives become rocket fuel. Answer this honestly. When someone insults you, do you feel heat rise in your chest? Do you rush to respond? Or do you pause, breathe, and observe? Write one word in the comments. React or observe. Your answer tells the truth about your control. Now the strategy becomes darker. Because the next move changes how people value you without you saying anything. Human beings crave approval. We want to be liked. We want recognition. We want validation. But the moment someone sees that hunger, they gain leverage. Because now they know what controls you. So the dangerous person does something different. They reduce their need for approval. They speak less. They reveal less. They respond less. Not arrogance. Detachment. Imagine someone trying to impress you. They talk louder. They show off. They brag. And you respond calmly. Minimal reaction. Minimal validation. What happens? They try harder. Curiosity replaces confidence. Because humans value what feels rare. Scarcity creates desire. Machiavelli wrote a line that echoes through history. Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. If you chase love, you become predictable. If you remove your need for approval, you become difficult to control. And what is difficult to control becomes respected. Sometimes feared. Now watch how the invisible board shifts again. Because the next tactic turns your results into your defense. Weak people defend themselves with words. Strong people defend themselves with results. Rumors are loud. Success is louder. Consider the story of Steve Jobs. In 1985, he was pushed out of Apple. The company he built. Critics said he was finished. What did he do? Did he spend years explaining the situation? Did he fight every article? No. He built NXT. He built Pixar, and years later Apple invited him back. The work answered the criticism. Noise fades. Results echo. This is difficult for most people. Because the instinct to explain is strong. You want people to understand your side. You want the truth to be heard. But power does not rush to defend itself. Power waits. Power builds. Power lets time reveal who was right. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. How much time have you wasted explaining yourself to people who never intended to understand you? Write the number in the comments. Hours? Days? Years? Now we reach the ruthless part. The tactic most people fear using. The tactic that collapses enemies quietly. Attention is oxygen. Every reaction feeds the fire. Every argument fuels the drama, so the brutal move is simple. Starve them. No replies. No arguments. No acknowledgement. At first the fire grows. They escalate. More insults. More noise. This is predictable. A starving fire burns brighter before it dies. But without oxygen it dies anyway. Something else happens. When someone cannot control you, they expose themselves. Their desperation becomes visible. And people begin to see the truth without you saying anything. Now the final tactic appears, the quietest one. The one that changes everything. While others fight petty battles, you build, you read, you train, you sharpen your mind. You increase your value. And slowly something terrifying happens. The people who mocked you notice the distance growing. You are moving upward. They are still arguing. They are still gossiping. They are still chasing reactions. But you are building something real. A mountain does not argue with the wind. It simply rises above it. And one day the same people who ignored you realize something uncomfortable. You never fought them. You simply outgrew them. That is dominance. Not revenge, irrelevance. Now answer one last question. Which tactic changed how you see power tonight? The throne of silence, strategic ignorance, emotional control, indifference. Let the echo speak, starve the enemy, or the silent rise, write the one that hit hardest. If this message reached you late at night, when the world is quiet and honesty is easier, then you are exactly who this channel is for. This is not entertainment. This is study. A place for people who refuse to stay powerless. Press like. Subscribe. Join the others who are learning the language of power. And type this oath in the comments. I choose power over pity. Remember the rule that built everything you heard tonight. Never react. Never explain. Just ignore. Because the person who controls their silence eventually controls the room.